So what's good with the Black Goose TV? You already know what it is, Mr. Positivity in the building. So we're talking about Regis, Prograis, and that lawsuit that he filed against World Boxing Super Series. So there's a lot of speculation when it comes to it. Some people are saying he's ducking Taylor. Some people saying that he really deserves to be treated as a professional athlete and get the money that he was promised when it was promised. Obviously, he signed a contract. So if the fighters are expected to fulfill the contract they signed, for example, Andy Ruiz, Anthony Joshua, you can't talk about asking for more money. You signed a contract. You can't talk about where you want to fight. You signed a contract. So you would think that these boxing fans would have the same energy when it comes to these organizations, these promoters, whoever it may be, who tries to play the actual fighter for paying them when they sign a contract. So if someone signs a contract saying you get paid this much for this amount at this particular time, you would expect people to have the same energy for those organizations for not meeting those contract obligations. But it seems the exact opposite. Like people are saying, Regis Prograis is ducking Taylor. Now, I'm not here to state opinion. I'm here to talk about the real, and the real is coming from ESPN.com. And obviously, as of now, if you haven't already heard, they are in talks with World Boxing Super Series, that's Prograis and his team, of resolving their issues. So there's a possibility we may end up seeing Prograis versus Taylor before the end of the year. Now check this out. It's coming from ESPN.com. Look, now they are at least talking about ironing out their differences. This is Taylor's team. I'm sorry, not Taylor's team. Prograis' team and World Boxing Super Series. So if successful, the result would be that Prograis versus Taylor would be rescheduled for October 26th, probably in London, multiple sources told ESPN. Not only was Prograis angered by the missed deadlines for the money to be put into escrow, a purse of $700,000 for the final, plus of $1.3 million bonus that will go to the winner, but more so because World Boxing Super officials were talking about moving the final date from October 5th, which I actually reported, to September 28th. That's very interesting, which would have given him even less time to prepare than the normal 8 weeks most fighters must to train for such a significant fight. If you guys don't understand, I think the original location was in the actual hometown of Taylor for that final fight. So if you guys understand anything, if they do end up moving this date, or not even moving the date, if they do end up making this fight happen, it will end up being in London. Still not neutral ground for Prograis, but still not as, you know, it's going to be Taylor's hometown, so y'all can take that for however y'all want. If an agreement is worked out and the money is secured, moving about to October 26th will give Prograis of Houston the time he feels necessary to fully prepare. So that's new news to me too. It didn't just have to do with the money, apparently it had to do with the date. They were trying to move the date at a sooner time period, and Prograis felt like he wouldn't have enough time to train, or at least recover from his last fight, and then get the amount of training he needs to fight Taylor. Y'all can take that however you want. World Boxing Super Series officials are prepared to have Taylor, 28 of Scotland, fight a replacement opponent in the final if Prograis does not re-enter the field. But they also know the scenario that would dramatically lessen the impact of the tournament outcome. And sources with knowledge of discussions told ESPN the tournament was beset by financial and scheduling issues for his first 2 season tournaments at cruiserweight and super middleweight, and they have continued during his 3 second season tournaments in the cruiserweight division. So what that tells me right there is obviously this isn't the first time they've had problems with paying people. This isn't going to be the last time they had problems with paying people, or at the very least doing like upholding to their contract obligations. Whatever they sign in that contract, World Boxing Super Series seems to have a repeated problem with not fulfilling those contractual obligations. No matter how y'all want to feel about what Prograis is doing, whether he's ducking or not, you have to understand, man. What he is doing is very much worth the time and effort he's putting into it. He deserves his pay, in my opinion. Y'all can say whatever y'all want, but sometimes it's not always about what y'all want. It is about the fighters, because they're the ones who put their life on the line. If y'all don't feel that way, it is what it is. It's how it goes. Mr. Positivity all day. Let me know what y'all think about this. Y'all can disagree with me. Y'all can say whatever y'all want. I really want to hear your opinion on this, because it's gonna be an interesting perspective if y'all think he should just shut up and go fight. Let me know what y'all think. Black Goose TV all day.